Hello, welcome to my Heal Your Life series, which is a dedication to Louise Hay. My name is Cerise, and in this playlist, I will be going over the spiritual and psychological meaning behind certain issues or diseases or problems that we have in our body. Now, I'm not a doctor, just want to put this out there. I'm simply just reading stuff from the book from Louise Hay and also my own psychological and spiritual meanings behind things that I have experienced personally myself and also those around me, and also other stuff that she talks about in her book. So I'm just sharing it as like another way. If you have gone to the doctor, you've done all your everything else needed to try and fix whatever it is that is your hindering you, and if you have found that it's not working, then this is another way or another thing that you can try, or just to have in mind and work on that psychological or spiritual reasoning behind it. So today we're actually going to be talking about the jaw, because this is like a big thing for me. I have had jaw issues for quite a long time. They come and go, especially in my right side, that I have struggled with on and off for quite a while. And different times in my life it flares up, and over the last couple of years, it's definitely been something that I've been dealing with. And after going through x-rays, ultrasounds, chiropractors, physios, all of it, I've realized when I read up what Louise Hay has to say and the spiritual or psychological meaning behind it, it makes so much sense to me. So in her book, she talks about the jaw as being resentment and anger. Now, myself, I have done a lot of work on releasing the anger. So sometimes it can be frustrating if you're sort of the same and you've tried to release it, and it sort of still kind of builds up. And so hers talks about where is it? Yeah, anger, resentment, desire for revenge, which is like, oh. So that's, you can release and forgive and do all that, but unless you kind of really get that anger out, it can stay stored. Well, it will stay stored. And then I'm also going to read some more findings of these psychological and other spiritual meanings of it. Especially mine is the Masseter muscle, but it's also like TMJ as well. But this spiritually represents unspoken truth, suppressed anger, and an energetic boundary defense. So if you've struggled with boundaries, or if you've put boundaries in place but you haven't been listened to or anything like that, this is like an emotional vault where the body basically stores words that you either held back, grief you pushed through, and the need for hypervigilant control, which is definitely I've been so hypervigilant, constantly scanning every person, scenario, everything for threats so I can feel safe. This makes me great at spotting other people's emotions, what's going on, and things like that. Not so great for myself because I'm constantly in this fight or flight, scanning mode. So and yeah, basically grief that you've pushed through. Now, I've pushed through so many things in my life, so many traumatic things that I've just pushed through and I've carried on, because I'm like, what else do? You just got to get on with life. And so it's made me great at just being resilient and pushing through, yet the body's got to hold it somewhere, right? Other things can be swallowed anger, so clenching the jaw is a primal instinctive reaction, basically to fight or bite back. When you suppress frustration or rage, especially this muscle, the masseter muscle locks down to stop you from snapping. Which is so relevant to me. Let me know if you are the same. Blocked expression. So I'm a very expressive person, as you might be able to tell by my face. This is like our throat chakra, right? Like, so our throat chakra is like how we like to express and speak our truth and say things and all of that. So if you have a tight jaw, then there can be a disconnect between your inner truth and what you feel safe saying out loud. So I have always been pretty like my communication, I kind of like say things as I see them or as I think them, and like I've learned that like that's not always appropriate or not the best way to do it, or you hurt someone's feelings. And so I'm constantly mindful of how I say things or how I speak, or how to communicate something. And sometimes I just hold back, and then other times I don't. Also the hypervigilant and guarding. So as one of the strongest survival muscles, an overacted Masseter signals your nervous system that you do not feel safe enough to let your guard down around others. So I've been hypervigilant, constantly scanning for threats, things like how can I show up as in this environment, like, you know, how do I know that I'm going to be safe, and things like that. So by being that, you're kind of like dancing up to see like if you're going to be okay to be you, or like do you need to put a mask on or a facade or be a certain way around these people, situation, whatever, because you may have not been able to be safe to be you, or you know, you got criticized or whatever. And so then having this scanning, or you know, you might have had a scenario where you were attacked or something happened, and so having like scanning and checking to make sure that you're safe, or you know, like how you need to be or whatever is you know, going on in your face. So chronic tension, which is something I've had, that requires constant, like I consciously have to relax this muscle. I do like lots of yoga and exercise in general, and then it's like relax your face. I'm like, oh gosh, yeah. Like I actually have to like even when I'm breathing, I have to consciously relax it. It's for me, it's kind of just it's like it's actively not relaxed, and then I have to actively relax it. So that's something that I've been working on. And so if you're needing to relax it, this can, like if it's constantly activated or constantly like tight or whatever, it is saying that your nervous system is in like a fight or flight constantly. So when it doesn't relax naturally, it means your emotional defenses are running on autopilot, which is super interesting. And then I looked into the reasons of like why it stays on, like why it stays activated like that. And these are a couple of the reasons I came across. Let me know if any resonate. I definitely can resonate with especially the last one. So the perpetual power struggle. You're constantly spending energy to maintain absolute control over your emotions, reactions, or environment. So if you're constantly needing to check your emotions, you know, I know times when I would hold back crying because it wasn't the right place, or would hold back emotions because I wasn't like, I was told that you can't be like that, you know. I was quite a like would have rage as a child. I was also been diagnosed with ADHD. So, yeah, it's kind of like holding that back. Like, where is that going? That rage has got to go somewhere in your body, right? Or those emotions have got to go somewhere, and especially holding them back. Like, that's where you hold it. Chronic self-protection. Your body perceives a continuous underlying threat to your personal boundaries, leaving you energetically armored 24/7. So if you're constantly feeling on the defense, or like, oh, I've got to protect myself, which I know is something that I've definitely been in full-on protective mode. Mine's on my right side as well, which is the masculine, doing, the provider, the protector, being like a solo mum. I feel like I've constantly had to have my guard up as the protector and the provider, and that's more on the masculine side as well. The right side is the feminine, so the receiving. And so the last one is the good girl syndrome. You may have felt a deeply ingrained habit of swallowing your own needs to maintain the peace or keep others comfortable, which was a huge one for me, because I believe when I grew up, you've got to be a good girl. You've got to, you're not meant to, you've got to listen to your parents. And so even if you're feeling a certain way or whatever, you can be diminished or told no, or you're a bad girl for doing that, whatever. And so you can hold back how you really feel, especially if you talk back to your kids. Talk back to your parents, and then they're like, no, because it was like, back then it's like you should be seen, not heard. You're not meant to have an opinion. You're not meant to say how you feel. And so you're holding back, especially if you've got lots of strong emotions, holding back these emotions, and you have to hold them in somehow. And you're just being told that you're not allowed to say anything. And so that can carry on through life, being constantly feeling like, I must be the good girl. Good girls aren't allowed to talk back. Good girls aren't allowed to have an opinion. Good girls should be quiet and polite and nice. So that's like another thing that can be happening there. And if you've got some that you want to add to this, please let me know in the comments. And so I'm just going to read some somatic things and energetic practices that you can do as well. So obviously I think it's called like mewing, where you put the tongue just behind your teeth on the top of your roof of your mouth, just to like keep your teeth apart. That can help. But yeah, you might just want to look on that one. There's a few videos online. Some other things is like practicing like breathing in and like exhaling deeply, like a really sigh, like even just sighing all the like frustration or getting it all out. And or like ah or ha, like ha is or is the throat chakra chant. And then if you can find a safe space to really scream into a pillow or scream somewhere. I've been meaning to go somewhere where there's like no one and just have a big scream in the woods. But I'm not really found somewhere to do it yet. But I think that that might be a really good thing for me, and it might be for you, depending on if this is feeling like it resonates. And also then I'm going to read the affirmation that Louise Hay in her book has about this. And so her affirmation is, I am willing to change the patterns in me that created this condition. I love and approve of myself. I am safe. So if that resonates with you, then you know, that is something that you can say. Also, I would be saying things like it is safe for me to feel this anger. You could do some tapping as well. If you feel like you can, you know why, if one of these resonated with one of the psychological or the spiritual meanings, if they resonated with you, then you can look into that, and then you can actually forgive and release, and you can say it is safe for me to like speak my truth. That's a really good one to embody and just really feel that as well. And another thing that I would also say with this is like, it can also be in like trusting the universe, trusting that you are looked after and provided for. So you can practice saying things like, I trust myself, or I trust in God, I trust in the universe, and really just knowing that trusting in yourself or higher, you know, source, which is essentially inside of yourself anyway, is the ultimate trust, and being able to release the need to be hyper vigilant and on sort of a fight or flight anymore. When we can release that, we can really like enjoy and trust and flow with life. And if you find yourself in a situation where you want to speak your truth, but you're unable to, or you don't feel you can, afterwards, it'd be really good for you to write it down, what you really wanted to say, in a journal or a notebook or something, and you can rip it up and throw it away or burn it later on, but releasing it and also speaking to yourself like, I am safe to speak my truth, and do practices like that. So let me know if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and follow this playlist, because I will be having more of these. They may not be as long as today's, but this was something that I am personally going through and been through for a while, so I wanted to really speak with it. Today's one passionately as a personal experience. Let me know if you've got anything to add to this, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Who you are when the screen goes dark, when the noise falls quiet and